If you had to describe what your son was going through before treatment in one sentence, what would you say?
Every day was a struggle.
Can you tell me a little bit more?
The daily tasks that every person needs to do, getting out of bed in the morning, getting ready, getting dressed, going to school, focusing in school, doing work, socializing with friends. He didn't want to do that. All of those activities were just very difficult for him to do on a daily basis.
Walk me a little bit through, what was he experiencing? What was he feeling or sharing with you he was feeling?
He was feeling hopeless, extremely depressed, really a lack of motivation, not really motivated to do anything. He didn't feel like there was any reason to be motivated to do schoolwork or activities with people. There was just like that lack of desire to live.
Can you tell me more about that?
He just felt like he kind of had done what he needed to do here, and he couldn't picture why he needed to continue living. It was too much of a struggle. It was too difficult. It was draining and exhausting, and he was fighting every day this depression, and the depression was winning. I mean, it was really difficult to function on a daily basis.
How long would you say he was struggling like this?
It was a roller coaster, but on and off for several years, many years. We'd have, some periods where things were okay, and then something would happen and, his mood would drop. But it was for several years that we tried to figure out how to manage this depression.
What would you say was the hardest part for you as a parent?
For me as a mom, I want to fix whatever my child's going through. If my child is struggling, I want to fix it. So I was constantly looking at how we can fix this, and everything we tried to fix it just didn't work. It would work for a little while, and then it would plateau and it would stop working. And so it was a constant struggle for me and for our family to try to figure out, how do we fix this depression? How can we have our child have a normal life like any other 16-year-old is living? That's just what I wanted so desperately for my child.
Oh, what had he tried?
I asked him that yesterday when we were talking, and he said, "Is everything a good answer? Because we feel like we tried everything. Multiple psychologists, multiple therapists, multiple different kinds of therapy, multiple different psychiatrists until we found Dr. Kachi, multiple different kinds of medications," which was a roller coaster in and of itself because of different side effects. And we felt like we had tried everything, PHP programs, DBT program. The only thing that we hadn't tried that we were being told was the next thing that we should try was a residential program, which we just felt like was not the right option for our child.
What was it like for all of you, for him, for yourself and the family, to see him going through all these treatments without any improvement?
It was incredibly painful, incredibly disappointing. I wish that I could take away the way that he was feeling for him. And it just seemed like everything that we tried might have been successful for a little while, but then it stopped working. So it was incredibly frustrating. It felt hopeless. I didn't know what to do. But thankfully, we have the best psychiatrist, Dr. Kachi, who always told me, there's other options. There's other things we can do. Like, don't give up. And so I really trusted him and, listened to him to try other options that he recommended.
What made you consider TMS?
I had never heard of TMS before. It sounded kind of crazy to me, to be honest. Dr. Kachi explained it to us, and I thought, oh my goodness, this is crazy. It seems, like definitely something different that we had never tried before. But after trying so many medications, we were came to the understanding that maybe our child metabolized medicines differently, and maybe medicine would not be the best option for him. He definitely was tired of trying medicine and was resistant to wanting to switch again. So when Dr. Kachi brought up TMS, we were extremely interested because it was a non-invasive, no medicine involved solution that could maybe solve our child's depression that we had been working for years to try to solve.
Did you have any concerns before starting?
It was definitely kind of a weird concept, but honestly, when it comes down to it, I trust Dr. Kachi above anything for my child, and so I really had all the faith in him that he was recommending something that was safe for my child to do, and something that could really potentially change his life. So he took the time to answer all of our questions. He even let us, both feel what it felt like, just so we would know, and so my son wouldn't be scared, because it's a little overwhelming at first. But once he answered all of our questions and told us the data and the research, we felt confident and comfortable enough to give it a try.
Can you tell me what was it like going through the TMS treatment or the accelerated treatment?
So Dr. Kachi originally told us about TMS in 2024 when we were having a bad bout of depression, and my husband and I really wanted to try it because we had tried everything else and we were hopeful that it could help. So we encouraged our child to try it and do it. I can honestly say I don't think he was ready to try it, but we still said, let's just try it. And he did it once and he was too overwhelmed by it, and that was it, But then again in 2025, when we were struggling again, Dr. Kachi had let us know that some of the protocols had changed and that he thought that it might be more tolerable for our child. So he encouraged us to try it again. And at that point, our child was ready because he was so tired from fighting this depression over the years that he was ready to try TMS. The biggest difference was he wanted to try it, and so he was willing to kind of deal with maybe feeling uncomfortable or nervous, and Dr. Kachi's team was absolutely phenomenal. They positioned the coil different ways, they positioned his head different ways, made sure he was comfortable. He told me when I asked him, he said, "Mom, Nicole was the one that gave me the most comfort, and she made sure I was comfortable, and they really cared about how he was feeling and if he was anxious and if he was comfortable, and they always just made sure before they started that machine that he was okay and comfortable." And I think that meant a lot to him, that so much care and love was put into every single one of these treatments. And he did the accelerated treatments. We did a variation of 5 treatments a day for 2 weeks, and every single treatment, they made absolute sure that he was comfortable, that it was positioned properly, and that just made all the difference in the world for him. And that was what made him get through kind of some of the anxiety that he had around TMS.
What stood out to you about the care he received here?
I knew to start we were in good hands because I have such trust and faith in Dr. Kachi. So I knew we were going to be in good hands. The thing that I can say is that they really took my child's feelings and anxiety into account and tried to make him feel as comfortable as possible. We had two psychiatrists and another person in the room many of the times, just making sure that the treatment was targeted in the right place. My child did that brain MRI for the neuronavigation, which made it a lot easier, I think, for him, because it was easier to find exactly where they needed to target the treatment. And yeah, just the very, very good care that he was given, and the love and support. And they were so incredibly supportive, which I think made him feel really good, which gave him kind of more confidence that, okay, I'm going to do this, you know. That was really amazing, and something that we really have never experienced, that level of love and care from a doctor's office.
And what felt different compared to everything else he's done?
You know, we had kind of like run out of hope, really, that trying another medicine or trying another therapist or trying another program, because it seemed like everything that we tried, we ran into a dead end. It didn't work. And so we were all feeling kind of hopeless, I hate to say. And so TMS gave us hope that, okay, this is something totally different that we've never tried before. We'd never even heard of it before. And we were just very hopeful with the data that Dr. Kachi gave us and the results that he had seen with his patients. We were hopeful that our child would have a similar outcome.
And when did you start, or first you noticed that you're seeing some changes?
It was just so crazy. Probably by the end of the first week of treatment, he did 2 weeks of treatment. By the end of the first week, going into that weekend, you could just tell that his mood was different. Everything felt lighter. He felt hopeful. We felt hopeful. We were just so optimistic and excited that after only a week of these treatments, we were already seeing a difference that not even medication was giving us. And so it was just really exciting, and gave us a lot of hope that we hadn't felt for a while.
What was the moment like for you?
As a mom, I mean, there's nothing more than I want my child to live his life, enjoy his life, do all the things that a 16-year-old should be doing that he wasn't capable of doing. It felt amazing. Like, it was life-changing. It felt amazing.
What changes have you seen in him since then?
Oh my goodness. Incredible changes that I've even told Dr. Kachi, like, it seems too good to be true, because for us, for our experience, he's motivated, he's going to school, he's socializing with friends, he's asking if friends can come over, he's starting to learn how to drive, he's talking about college, he's talking about the future, which he couldn't even talk about the future before because he was fighting so hard to just live every day. The change has been life-changing. I can't even express how much it's impacted our entire family. Really, it's been life-changing, and for him, it was life-saving.
What does a good day look like for him now?
A good day is like a day that any other 16-year-old would have, you know, waking up, eating breakfast in the morning, going to school. For him, he's excited to go to school. He loves school. He loves to learn. He loves challenging himself. He's trying to, you know, get ahead in school. He's taking more classes. He's taking a Spanish class at a junior college, something I never could have imagined him doing when we were going through this very difficult time in our life. Doing homework, seeing friends, coming with us to family events, actually enjoying the family events. It seems so normal to everybody else, but to me, it's incredible because it's what we wanted for so many years, and we just couldn't seem to get to that point. But TMS got us to that point, and we're just so grateful that now we can just really live a normal life, a more normal life.
What is it like for you as a parent?
I don't think there's a word to use. I mean, I drop him off at school and I watch him walking into school, and I smile and it almost brings tears to my eyes because literally my child could not do that before he did TMS. When he was trying all the medications and going through all the other treatments, he couldn't even have a normal day at school. As a mom, it is an incredible sense of relief that I don't have to worry about my child every moment of every day, that I don't have to be with him every moment of every day. He can have some autonomy and some independence, which, 16-year-olds at that age, that's normal for that age. I wanted that for my child. So I feel like everything I have been wanting these last couple of years is all falling into place for him because he is in a much better place than he was before.
What would you say to another parent going through something very similar?
Yeah, I would talk to any parent who is considering TMS because I have seen the benefits. I have seen what it can do, and I am amazed and in awe by what it can do. Honestly, I'm not one to exaggerate, really. I'm kind of a straight shooter, and I just feel like what it has done for our child and what it could do for somebody else's child is life-changing.
What would you say to another parent going through something very similar?
I would tell them not to give up. Don't give up hope. I would encourage them to do their research on TMS. That's something that has really empowered me as a parent, is doing research, getting connected with the right people, talking to the right people, and really, learning about what might be the best next step. And TMS is something that's, a lot of people haven't heard of it. It might sound weird and crazy, which, it did to me until we learned more about it and Dr. Kachi answered all of our questions. But I would just really encourage any parent with a child who is going through this. And I actually already have talked to multiple parents about this. Look into it and see if it might be the right solution for your child, because for us, thankfully, it was the right solution, and it has been the solution that we've been looking for.
Is this something you wish you had found earlier?
TMS. I wish we had found TMS earlier. Yeah, we had no idea that it was something that was available. And but I think in the last few years, it's kind of become more commonly used and more people are finding out about it. And our family hopes that everybody finds out about it and learns about it, because the effects of it are incredible. They've been incredible.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And is there anything else you want to add, or?
Oh, I don't think so. I was thinking, my son's very sensory oriented. He's very sensitive to sounds and textures and touches and things. And so that was something that he was kind of nervous about when he went into TMS, because he told me it feels like a clicking, and so any other parent that might have a child that also has sensory sensitivity, I would encourage them to talk to Dr. Kachi and his team, because they did a phenomenal job of working with his sensory sensitivities to make TMS tolerable. That was what we kept telling him. You just need to tolerate it and get through it. And they made it comfortable for him, where he almost fell asleep a few times in the chair. So he went from just being terrified to having them figure out what worked for him and what was the right setup for him to make it comfortable for him. So I know a lot of times parents with kids that are very sensory sensitive can shy away from things because they don't want to upset their child. But, my child brought a blanket in with him and wrapped a blanket around himself and had a little squishy ball. So anything like that, that really helped our child.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. We are forever grateful
really impactful
to you.
And it's going to be absolutely helpful to many.
I hope so. I want everybody to know about
just
it.
Hearing the story again is so lovely.
Yeah, and just being on the other side I feel like we made it.
Yes, we did.